You're making sponsors look like it's so easy to get.
It's actually a process, and that's why we're here to make you see that it's not as hard as you think, but it is intellectual work. If you sit down and you do your homework very well, you see that sponsor A wants this, sponsor B wants that, and once you develop the proposal with that in mind, just know that you've snagged sponsor A and sponsor B.
Hello listeners, my name is Deborah Osemene.
And I am Stephanie Osawi.
You're welcome to the Sponsor Zone. So we're diving deep into event trends, sponsorship and partnership matters, strategies and insights that affect or that shaping the world of events.
So if you're an event organizer looking to attract the right sponsors, or you're a brand looking to maximize the role of event partnerships and sponsorships, you might even be a sponsor just looking to understand this world of events better. Or you are a business professional looking to see how event partnerships and sponsorships can create real impact. This podcast is
for you.
Yes.
So in each episode, we'll be talking about experiences, challenges, winning tactics. We'll also be exploring how to write creative, in fact, compelling sponsorship proposals. We're looking at how to help you grow your relationship with your partners or sponsors for your events, and also how to apply your creativity into winning those big sponsors for your events.
So if you're looking to unlock the world of event partnerships and sponsorships, hit that subscribe button and come with us on this journey. Let's show you how to create not just successful events, but truly unforgettable ones.
Very correct. So how are you doing today, Stephanie?
I'm very well, Deborah. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I'm excited because this is the first episode of Sponsor Zone. So today, our topic is going to be about the art of negotiations in sponsorship discussions, and also nurturing those sponsors and partners.
Very important.
Yes. So I feel like sponsorship and negotiation is something that once you just bring up that conversation, it makes people get relaxed, also uncomfortable, also like, I don't know where this is going to end. But guess what? We're going to help you calm down and give you insights on how to win those sponsors for your events.
Yes, we're going to teach you how to navigate that pool.
Yes, and also how to nurture them so that your relationship with them doesn't just end in that particular event discussion, but goes all the way and help you gain more wins for your events. Yes. So what do you think about negotiations when it comes to sponsorship, partnership, collaboration? What's your thoughts?
So I think going into negotiations, both on the part of the event organizers and on the part of the sponsors, everybody comes in very transactional. Those conversations have turned out to be very transactional conversations on what are you giving me and what am I getting in return? What value does this person think they can give me, and what value can this person give me in return for what I'm bringing to the table? Oh, what is this person bringing to the table? Am I bringing more to the table than this other person? It's just so transactional. When at the crux of it, the foundation of any winning sponsorship conversation is connection.
Right, that's very correct.
Exactly, like you have to have a connection with the team you're discussing with. As an event organizer, you have to be willing to create a relationship, right, between you and your sponsor. It doesn't have to be very tight, but it just shouldn't be so formal and transactional. When they think of you, they shouldn't think of, oh, that person that just wants to take from me. It's oh, that person that I work with to create beautiful events.
Yes.
Right? So
add value together.
Exactly.
You get. So when we talk about, or when I think of sponsorship and I think of negotiations, it's something that you would always look forward to once you begin that process. Because after you draft that proposal, or even while you're drafting the proposal, it's already at the back of your mind that, okay, this is how I want the sponsor to support my event. You know, this is how I want them to come in. So negotiation is something that you cannot even skip. It cannot even be overlooked. It's very key when it comes to sponsorship for your events. So I also believe, let me talk about this experience.
Okay.
So for the very first proposal document sent out, myself and my team, and then we got a call from the prospective sponsor, and just like 3 or 5 minutes into the conversation, she was like, oh, I've gone through your document, it's quite interesting. can you just tell me what's the value? What do you want? How much are we talking about here? And I'm like, woo, in my mind, is this how fast it gets? Like, you didn't even give us the time to, talk about what the event is about, more detail that was not written on paper. Exactly. So that was quite interesting for myself and my team, and it gave us more morale to move forward. So that's one part of negotiation that could be interesting from the beginning. But there are other times where you will still need to put in more work, you will still need to have physical meetings, you will still need to have virtual meetings, you just need to add that value to your proposal documents, just so that the negotiation process is something that would add value, not just for you as the event organizer, but also to the sponsors or the partners or whoever you're collaborating with for your events.
Very true, very true. It's not always as fast as your initial experience. It's not always that fast. Sometimes you need to reassure the sponsors that, what you're bringing is actually what they need. Now, going to your first point, right, about the sponsor that just quickly said, what value are we talking about? And I like this your concept. So I think two things, right, that you ticked on their box were, one, you actually did your homework.
Oh, yes.
And you saw how your event proposal aligned with their event, right? Because they would not go into those meetings without checking your proposal. And on checking your proposal, they probably saw that, these people actually thought about us and they've actually read upon us. They actually know what we're looking to achieve and how this event would help us achieve our goals.
Very true.
And the thing about sponsors is that they're also business people. Once they see that your concept aligns with what they are trying to achieve, it's just a smooth sailing from there. Yes, there will be other processes, other T's to cross and I's to dot, but just know that you've caught them, right? And I think the second thing is that they saw the value that you were bringing.
Very important.
Like I said, they're business people. They will not just say, look at your fine face, let me give this person my resource, or let me just say okay to this person. They see that this thing is actually valuable and it will be good for me. For some people, it will even be like, it will make me look good to bring this kind of concept, right? And then they will just go, okay, before somebody else snatches up this opportunity, let me just ask her, how much do you want, or what do you really want me to bring,
just so that we can at least begin our conversation with you.
And that's where people, that's the thing, a lot of people go into these conversations without doing the proper homework. They're just trying to tick boxes that, this event, and I'm just going to reach this. Maybe this person sponsors a lot of events, so I have an event coming up, let me meet this person. And then you don't do your homework, and you will just find out that your event doesn't even align with these people's goals, right? A lot of people just go into these conversations without doing their homework.
Assignments, that's very true. That's very true. Another thing that I think adds value to the negotiation process is, while you were creating the proposal, just as you have mentioned already, the objectives of this event, does it align with what this brand is all about? That's one part of it. And then I know that different organizations usually set up budgets for different type of events, or this CSR business, or that and that you get. So all these things add to the negotiation process, the thought behind it. And left alone for me, as an event organizer, you need to be emotional as well as strategic when creating your event proposal documents.
Very true.
Emotional in the sense that it's not just about you winning, you gaining. What is the value you're bringing to the sponsor? What is the value you're bringing to the partner? Whoever is collaborating with you for your event, what is the value you're bringing to them? You get. So sometimes we should not just be like, win. It has to be win-win. There has to be a balance. There has to be an alignment, between the sponsor and the event organizer. So it's not one-sided relationship. And also, negotiation is not only in the financial, gain.
Yes,
you
very
get.
true.
I believe there are other things. There are other areas that should be captured during the negotiation. Another thing is this: some sponsors, they only want you to help them build data for their organization. So they will come on board on that event just because of the data that they want to gain from sponsoring or partnering with you for that event. But guess what? I don't think it has to be restricted to
just data,
just collection of data only. No, there's more to sponsorship. There is more to partnering with event organizers. You think of the value you're going to be creating, not just for the event organizer, but also the people who will be attending. Yes, who will be attending this event. What's the impact on them? Social, economic impact, individual impact. Is it an event for children? Is it an event for adults? Female, all that.
Yes.
Whatever the event is about, I think that emotional thought should also be added into the negotiation process, just so that you're not gaining or you're not adding value only with the financial or with the funds needed for that event. That's as a sponsor, not only the financing of the event, but also what is the need for you, what is the impact to your own brand that is being projected to making that event successful.
Exactly.
You get?
So that's the thing. I think on that end, that would be the sponsors being transactional about going into this kind of partnerships. Some sponsors just want the database, like you said, but the
which
thing
is very tiny
compared to
every other
that can
value
be gotten out of this thing. And it's now the work of the event organizer to broaden the mind of the sponsor. That look, I will give you this database, right? These people, you will get this data, you will see the behavioral patterns of your community and all that. But that's not all you stand to gain.
Yes.
You stand to create impact in this particular community, in this industry, in this sector, for this group of people. And then when you open their eyes to that kind of value, why would they say no to you?
I tire.
Why would they say no to you?
At this point,
exactly. And I think on the event organizer's part, it is very good to know what is important to your sponsor. Right? The fact that we understand that database is like a minute part of the value that can be gotten doesn't mean that it is not still a large thing for some sponsors.
Oh yes.
So for some sponsors, they want access to the audience. For some
easy access, quick access, unique access. That's
access.
True.
Those are the words right there. Unique access. And once you throw those words out, the sponsor will agree. Now, for some other sponsors, they want to position as a thought leader for this particular initiative. Take, for instance, people that are organizing intellectual events or events that would, change the world, like all this climate change and all that. Some brands just want to position as thought leaders in that space. And once you tell your sponsor that, oh, I will give you space to talk, you've caught them. That's
now you're making sponsors look like it's so easy to get.
It's actually a process, and that's why we're here, to make you see that it's not as hard as you think, but it is intellectual work. If you sit down and you do your homework very well, you see that sponsor A wants this, sponsor B wants that. And once you develop the proposal with that in mind, just know that you've snagged sponsor A and sponsor B. Instead of approaching sponsor A with the same thing you are approaching sponsor B with when they don't want the same thing.
It has to align with whatever the objectives for that season, that you're approaching them. It has to align with whether it's a thematic area or area of focus for that particular year. You get that. So for event organizers, I also believe that you should not position yourself as one who is desperate or begging to, you're seeking attention. No, that is why you should put creativity into your events, into not just the proposal level. Every fact that you be putting in the proposal document has to be true.
Yes.
It has to be something that you can deliver on.
Yes.
It has to be something that you're passionate about. Just so that it does not you don't end up misleading whoever will come on board as a sponsor or as a partner to your events.
Exactly.
So it shouldn't end in you just looking for a sponsor and then you're begging them and you're always telling whoever is in charge of that sponsorship desk,
blowing up their phones.
No. Once that creative mindset is in the event organizer, you've put passion into it, you are emotional about it, you understand that this value is going to be gotten from this event. Be confident about what you're doing. And I can tell you that sponsors would even be the one looking out for you to sponsor your events.
Yes. I think sponsors catch on to so many things, right? And as an event organizer, you have to be emotionally intelligent.
Oh yes, right? For sure.
First off, sponsors know when you are desperate for this thing, and everybody
it starts to water down what's,
Nobody wants a desperate event organizer, right? There's that. And then the second thing is that in every relationship, right, honesty and trust are very strong bridges.
Yes.
Very strong.
So this actually goes to the conversation I was going to have with you afterwards. So do you think that negotiation in sponsorship and event organizers discuss, do you think negotiation is affected by untrusted or people, event organizers that have not been trustworthy in the past? Maybe they promise this event, they promise this sponsor that we're going to deliver this to you, we are going to do this for you, we are going to position you in this way, when you come in you're going to have this access to this level, and then when it's event day and the sponsor is not even seeing quarter of what you have said you will deliver on. I think that's a bad experience already for the sponsor, and it's already affecting not only the event organizer but every other person that would want to approach that particular brand for sponsorship. And this kind of things, the bad words have a way of spreading faster, and it now becomes that ideology that before an event organizer comes to meet you for a sponsorship for that event, you should go with thick skin just so that you'll be able to negotiate and be rigid or be stern on your agreements with them. No. So this is it now. Are negotiations affected by untrustworthy event organizers?
So let me just say this thing that we Nigerians say. Don't let anybody bobo you. Because event organizers, some of them have bobo sponsors.
Oh, that's true.
So the thing is, people say don't burn bridges after you've crossed them. Because when the next person is coming, there will be no bridge to carry them to the other side. Now, some event organizers have already burnt the bridge of trust when it comes to some sponsors, right? And then when a new event organizer is coming, they've already built this wall that, I know this person is coming to, be dubious about this. So I must, shine my eye and make sure that whatever they are telling me is true. And then whatever they tell me, I will remove like 1,000 from it. Event organizers have to be honest and trustworthy with whatever they are putting into their proposal. Because the sponsors, they are trusting you with their resources. Hard-earned resources. The brand image that they have built, they are trusting you with that. And it's not something to be taken lightly. If you know that you're not going to get 1 million sign-ups at your event, then don't put 1 million sign-ups on your proposal. Put something that you can deliver on. Something that will push you, yes. But something once I put this in place, this in place, this in place, I can get this result. So once the sponsor comes on board, you do whatever needs to be done to make sure that your word holds water with that sponsor. Because it will take a lot for sponsors to trust event organizers again after one has already been dubious with their proposals. Exactly. Which is why I said honesty and trust are very important for any relationship. You're trying to build a connection with this sponsor. It's not just for one event. Do you think that lying in your proposal now will make you have a long-standing relationship with them?
No way.
No. And see, the thing is, people are not in silos of themselves. People know people. Now, you need the sponsor today, but you might need someone that is close to this sponsor tomorrow. Now, if you act strangely with this sponsor, you will not have access to this sponsor again for any referrals.
That's just the honest truth.
Exactly. Now, and just like you said, right, the bad words take seed deeper and they go farther. They grow faster. So when you play with this sponsor, by the time you go and meet the next two sponsors, they've already heard your gist and they will not want to sign up with you. And then people will think, is there something wrong with the proposal? Is there something? No, it's you. What you did was the problem. Your character is not something that holds water with anybody, and they have heard. Exactly.
So this leads us to the conversation about building long-lasting relationships with your sponsors. Yes. So I would say in that aspect, it has to do with part of what we've just discussed now. And for example, when you have had an event, the sponsors have, come on board, they've had the event. I think it should not just end in the measurements of how many people attended the event, the reporting system, that is the post-event report after the event. It shouldn't just end there. Between the event organizers and the sponsors. There should also be an afterwards roundtable meeting. Let's talk about what went well, what did not go well, and you're building trust between your brands, and this can even help you gain referral, both as an event organizer and even as a sponsor to other brands. You get. So relationships are very necessary for you to build when you are talking about sponsorships and partnerships. It shouldn't just end in signing papers and contracts, and on the event day just show your face. No, I don't think it should be like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I think a lot of people just host events and they forget about the post-event part of it, where you need to get feedback.
Yes.
You need to get feedback from your audience, you need to get feedback from your sponsor. You just need to get feedback everywhere and see where it can be better. And there's this feeling that getting feedback gives both the organizer and whoever gets the feedback from. They feel that their voices are heard, right? So if you reach out to your sponsor and you're like, oh, this event that we set out to do together, what do you think about it? Did we actually achieve what we said we're going to achieve? Did it give you value the way we said it would give you value? What do your audience think about it? And when they give their feedback, you are open to receiving it and even giving options of how we're going to work on this. Definitely when you're coming back for a second edition of that event, they will be open-minded because they know that this person is already working with our best interests at heart. And then even for the audience, right? The audience know that where this thing went well, these people will probably build on it more, and then where it probably didn't go as well, they're going to work on it. So when you put out a flyer for this event again, those people would come and they would invite more people.
Yes.
So you see how it touches everybody.
Yes, that's very correct. So when we even talk about sponsorships and event organizers, I believe we should give our audience take homes, just something that they can ponder on and something that can even add value to them when they are positioning their brand for sponsorship or they're even creating an event. So what advice would you give to our listeners regarding negotiation with sponsors and partners, nurturing that relationship, about putting their creativity and then the value to be received after the event or even during the event?
So I'll just sum everything up in this, right? Negotiations in partnerships and sponsorships, it's not a battlefield
at all.
Don't go
That's very
fight.
true.
Don't go ready to fight. Don't go battle ready. Go prepared, but don't go as if you are going into battle. You are going to make friendships, like strong connections. So you're not going with this defensive attitude or this attitude of I know what I'm bringing to the table and I'm going to get what I want.
Overconfidence.
Exactly. This entitlement
which is good,
thing.
but not to the detriment of the original, play.
Exactly. So don't go in looking like you want to fight, but go prepared.
Okay.
That's just all I have to say.
So my own advice on negotiation also is be confident that you're adding value. Don't go as if you're begging. You get. This is for the event organizer. And then for the sponsor, when you are negotiating, please try and give feedback to the event organizer.
Yes.
Don't drag try not to drag the process. If you're in it, just indicate that you're interested. If you're not in it, just say it on time so that these event organizers can move forward.
Exactly. If you need clarity, say so. If you're not moving, say so.
Yes.
Let's know what we are doing.
Yes. And then in creativity for both the event organizer and then the event sponsor, I believe that there are different ways to doing things. Your approach matters. You get. And you cannot say because you saw, this particular event was done in this way and they gained the sponsor, you now go with the same content, the same maybe. No, now. you have to put in more thought, put in
Yes.
more work. That uniqueness, that value, that unique value, you have to stand out.
Very
So
important.
go the extra mile, put in more work, put in more thought, ask for support when you need support, just so that aspect of that event, that creativeness, in that event stands out.
And don't forget that we are here for you. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, and then we'll put you through on what to do.
Yes. We would also appreciate that in the comment section you put your thoughts around negotiations when it comes to sponsorship and partnership discussions, and also creativity in writing compelling proposals, and also nurturing relationships after the event, after gaining or working with the sponsors and the partners.
So thank you so much. It was nice speaking with you, Deborah, today.
Thank you, Stephanie. I look forward to having more interesting conversations.
Yes, see you in the next episode.
All right, thank you. So look out for the next episode. Take care and stay blessed.
Bye.
Bye.